I'm making these decisions with my tits. A book for women by a man. They're priceless, always right. The rest is not as good. Just ask other women, the ones who are afraid to listen to their tits. Just wander around aimlessly in the desert of uncertainty. They don't know what they could achieve. They don't know how easy it is to make decisions with your tits. Tits don't need to be special. They can be saggy, old, part of a woman who no longer feels sexy, but the power is in them. You can feel it right now reading this, can't you? You've forgotten, never forget. You are a woman, and what do you have that men don't have physically? Tits. You may not want to admit in this investing in the mind society, but physical attributes play a large role in our minds. The tits make the call. They got the power. Power, tits. Let that power be unleashed and be the woman you were born to be. Unleash the tit power! Unleash it! You were born to make decisions. You were born to have your judgment heard. You were born for your misjudgment to be apologized for by a weaker man. Man is weaker. Man can be weaker. Man isn't always strong. Unleash the power you alone as a woman have. They don't have tits. And this isn't just about tits anymore. You are a woman. Unleash the power you have as one and start making decisions in your life. You are the most important. First you do this. Say to yourself, I don't need a man to make decisions for me, but I can take care of myself. Not all men are firm decision makers, mind you. But usually women gravitate towards the ones that are because they're afraid of their own sexual power, sexual energy. It's bristling, baby. When you unleash and understand, we'll talk about that in the next chapter. Now, there are also strong-minded women who are almost too aggressive and push people away. Their determination is only a desperate attempt to run from their looming decisionless state. Their tits may be in frequent use, but they're not backed by a real woman. She misuses her tits. She takes them for a tool. It is not a tool. They are not a tool. They are you. Now the ratio of men who can't make decisions compared to the ones who can is the same as the one of women who need a man to state the course of their life, as opposed to ones who don't. Even among the latter, the percentage of ones who really use their tits is small. Chapter 2. Unleash and Understand. We've talked about unleashing your titual power. What did I mean when I combined the word understand as an afterthought? It didn't only mean let the power of your tits awake. Well, there won't be even any steady power without understanding. I said it's bristling, baby, when you unleash and understand. That's a very important word right there, and that's one that needs to be understood by itself. But what I mean is when you start to notice small surges of power coming, as if from the tips of your nipples, and slicing through the air like bolts of lightning, creating an atmosphere and crackling around 1 inch in all directions of room temperature air inside the house from your nipples, then you need to understand that that is the power from your tits, girl, not from your brain. No, you didn't need anything special today. You haven't been exercising more than usual. It's all thanks to the sexual force of your body surging to the surface and out at other people into the world where it can make a difference. Don't let it wallow inside you. Let your tits be your guide. Let them do more than your eyes could. They don't ask for permission, they take. You can take. You are your tits. Maybe you've never let the queen loose. Do it now! Understand the power of those tits. You need not wait. Life is here. Some of that surging energy will also radiate inwards into your breasts. Feel it. Recognize it. You're a woman. Men will never understand this. They will never feel what it is to be a special woman. They got their own ball energy, but that's another book. Focus. You're special. Not every woman's tit energy is the same. On the contrary, they are all different. It's your job to find your own form of tit energy. Make it the goal in your life, and I guarantee you, you will become a stronger, more confident, get things done woman. Isn't that what you're looking for reading this book? Chapter 3. Men don't understand you, love pie. You got to stick to your cells, ladies. You can do these exercises together. Don't get jealous of your girlfriends and start throwing tit lightnings all over the room. They're your friends. The last phrase couldn't be more important. No matter what Believe that whoever understands you is the one you should listen to. And let me tell you, a man's chemistry is totally different. And it is the chemistry that makes us the decisions that we make. Men don't make decisions equal to women. Don't listen to your man, period. Or rather listen, but don't follow. He's going his way, you're going yours. It's how it has to be. For both of you to feel the full effect of your sexual power. That doesn't mean you have to separate. I'm talking about everyone's inner world here. You're not a man. You cannot follow decisions made by a man. You've made your own decisions. You're a strong woman. Listen to your tits. They are always right. A woman's tits guide her through her life unharmed. And when she's old and still alive, the tits have a purpose. They exude sexual determination. They give the body the knowledge of the sex and how that person should behave accordingly. This doesn't mean, see, there are similarities here between men and women, certainly. We're all human beings here. But the phrase, do unto others what you wish be done upon yourself, simply doesn't apply when you're thinking of a person of the opposite sex. It doesn't. Jesus was wrong. Then again, he never had a woman. Buddha was wrong. He never had a woman either. Notice a pattern? Sex teaches you greater things than Jesus and Buddha could, if they were put in a room together and allowed to brainstorm. You're wiser just for being a man than the two of those chumps put together. And if you have been with a man for a long time, congratulate yourself. You have been doing important work. But have you remembered your own womanhood? I hope so. Still, sadly I know most of the women reading this book haven't. They're wandering in the desert of indecisiveness. Now is the time to take a stand. This isn't some playground for men. Men are gone. History needs to be rewritten. This time with a woman on the place of every great man. Were those men so great? I'm not sure. Maybe their wives' fantastical tits brought the best out of them. This book is for you, women. Fantastical tits! Girl boobs and big knockers, red nipples and saggy skin, wonderful big fatty tissue and skinny flat chests. This is for you. In place of every Einstein, Newton, Napoleon, I want to see a new face. A new and fresh face bristling with sexual energy. The penis's energy is not confident, let me tell you. It is aggressive. You may get in contact with a penis that knock your teeth out. That man may have found his penis energy, but you won't end up so good. You're a pile of ash. Cinder, you have to be cautious. This is the topic of our next chapter. Only women can rewrite history. The penis's power has been exhibited. What has it brought? Pain and violence. War and unrest. Uneasiness and fear. Suicides and homicides. Secret assassinations and government plans, invasions and selfishness. It's time for the woman to step up and claim the place she can fill. Man doesn't have to be in charge. You've been taught that by society. And society teaches it because it's been the situation for so long. People don't listen to themselves. You're always right. The tits have a fighting chance. Let the tits win. Let us bring about an era of confidence and sexual energy. Woman power. Chapter 4. Collision between the penis and the vagina. I don't mean sex. I mean the implosion of two sexes meeting. Two self-acknowledging human beings of opposite sexes colliding. What happens? This isn't a woman that shuts down. This isn't a man that lays back and lets the woman demean him. They fight for power. Well, let me tell you, this is the most wonderful relationship you could ever have. Men and women are not equal. They are different in ways for which they can't be compared with each other. They both serve a purpose. You're not a man, no matter how much you want what they have. It's time to build a new world. Don't perpetuate the hate instigated by men alone for centuries. You are a woman. Do not try to be a man. It's silly. You're a woman, for Christ's sake. And good at that. Don't try to be a man. You haven't got what it takes. You have completely different chemistry, different hormones. And hormones are precisely the chemical in your body that puts together thoughts to action. Female actions are different from male actions. Build a female world. It will be unimaginable today and very different from the society we live in. But this is what we need to achieve peace. No more fighting. Aren't you tired? The women need to take over for a while, see their place. What can they achieve? Man won't disappear. He'll have his place in the future society like a woman has her place today. But you can't say that women are in charge. Men are in charge. Men listen to their dicks, the best of them. That is why the world is what it is. It's time to listen to the tits and let them make their own kinds of decisions. See, when I say that the best of men listen to their dicks, it's true, but the dick is violent. A good man is violent, but he needs the soothing power of a woman's sexual energy, shooting from her nipples into the outside world. Remember, he isn't the only person in the world. If a woman can't shoot these soothing lightning bolts from her tits at a loving man, who also, hopefully, listens to his dick, then the dick power can run amok. And this is destructive to the whole world. Women, you are responsible for the state of the whole world already, but in a negative way. Men have found themselves. It's time for you to do the same. The world won't live to see another day. Well, the world will, but humanity won't. There are only men and women here. That's why it's so important that each sex has their ideal place. And that ideal place is not being fulfilled for you, ladies. And the men are worse off for it. They become angry because all they see there are dicks around. They can't sense the titties, women. You need to let them know your power. You have power too. Equal power to the man. That's how nature has made it. So that as long as things go well, which they aren't, no sex can get an upper hand. And they're no happier about it than you are. You're thinking, I know, but men are supposed to have the upper hand. No, they aren't, women. Challenge yourself to believe otherwise. You know how things are really supposed to be. You've only forgotten, or maybe never learned. It'll be hard to imagine. But when you arrive, you'll know you're in the right place. And this will only seem like a stifling dream. The place is where your tits lead you. Trust them, follow them. Don't follow men, follow yourself. I haven't come up with a title for the next chapter yet, but I'll write it later. I have to go eat something and maybe watch something. I'm a man. Women. We need your tip power to grow ourselves. We need equal force of sexuality to survive. Humanity is at stake. Unleash its tits! Chapter 5. Sex is the last thing on my mind. Forgotten sexuality and the disruptive power of sexuality in modern-day society. It's true, we've forgotten what sex is. It's everywhere, sure, but that's just because we're so desperate to remember again. Beauty of two creatures of equal sex, authority in their own right. Man and woman are not the same. They're completely different. The shy girls at the dinner table in the 18th century, they had the sex girl. Their tits were bristling and the men could see that. And even in fuzzy black and white photos from that time you can see it. The sexual energy is so strong. And that is the power of sex. That's what you need to achieve. Keep that as a goal for yourself. A picture of you should still cause sparks in the pants of men in 100 years. Don't belittle the power you have over men sexually. That is where part of your strength lies. It shouldn't be denied. It is what you can do that no man can do. That is female power. And though the object is the man, he is only that. The object. The manifestation of what boils underneath that soft skin. You caused the stir in the man. Don't belittle that. Woman, know yourself and you won't know how to worry about using your sexual power. The subtitle of this chapter mentions the disruptive force of sexual energy on modern society. That's why we downplay it and even fight against it to keep the status quo. Women fighting on the streets against seductive women using their potent ability over men are actually against female power. They may want it, but it won't be achieved with their ways. Man needs a fighting partner, and it's a sexual battle because that's all there is, men and women. Even children have sex, and they use it. We don't. Little girls and dolls, boys and sticks, they know their role and they execute it. Balance is kept. The boys have something different to calm them down. When those little girls grow up, they want to become men. Why? So they can have power. They can't win a man in his own game. They need theirs. You need yours. Your tits, and I use tits here as a metaphor, are your best asset. Use them. You are women. We are men. Let us fight, and when we come home, cool us down. Not by being submissive, but by putting up an equal fight with an opposite energy. For a creature ultimately hates one that is below him, and similarly a weaker creature hates the one he is with, the stronger one. They can never be at peace, and the world is threatened, humanity is threatened, and the more couples like this there are, children learn the roles, and ta-da! We've got a pile of misery. No one benefits, not even the men. Don't think they have what they want. What they want is harmony, not supremacy. Just like you. In today's world, women claim they don't have time for sex. All their time is spent trying to be busy at the office, like men. The world of woman is sweet and flowery, not cubical and cold. You, my dear reader, might be thinking yourself, I can't think of this. This would disrupt and change my own life the way he's describing. That's right, it would. It's the only way to get rid of the old and come in with the new. Relationships between men and women are not well. I believe abuse has increased. Time is taken from the woman the way a man valued most dear. Now he despises her. It's no secret that women despise men. They're just afraid to say, or maybe think it, because the man is stronger. The man's role is dominant. The woman feels safe but stifled. Why do sexes hate each other? It's us versus them, 50% against 50%, when we could be more than 100%. Both sides have something to offer to the other that the other wants more badly than anything else. This is the power of sex, by unleashing the power of your sexuality or bringing peace to the world. Men need that backfire, otherwise they shrivel, and so do you. Our children aren't well, they're confused. Are mommy and daddy okay? Why do they fight? Argue with that, it's a cold fact. Maybe the future will be a more peaceful environment for our children and their children. And soon. But there's too many people in the world. Chapter 6. Population Problem. We need to dwindle. This is a cruel thing to say whenever life seems unique, and it is. But the truth is, life can be created at will, and the possibilities are endless. Also, we are programmed to stay alive and replicate. It's so deep in us we don't understand it. No person needed to exist, though, that is the truth. Just look at the people in China. How many variations of that face do you need to see in the crowds of Shanghai to know I'm speaking the truth? There are too many people and we're gasping for air. Even in a small town, our connections are greater than they ever were before in the history of mankind. We are a slowly evolving species, and we haven't shaken off the remnants of those hundreds of thousands of years of foraging and gathering. We're an echo of that initial bang, and you best find out how they lived or be miserable. Every time you pick up this book, you learn something new. That's my hope. The population problem may have the root of most of the violence and confusion in today's world. And there have been too many of us for a long time, but in the last decades the numbers have risen very unpredictably and enormously. It's a surprise, but we have to cope. What can we do? Killing ourselves isn't an option. Murdering others isn't either. We can wait and die. But before that, we will have to endure centuries of agony. This is no joke. Your life might be okay, even though you're not happy either. But a lot of people live in an unbearable world. Still, we're the ones to kill ourselves. Interesting. Explanation? I have none. They do it too, but in the name of something. They have a purpose, even for dying. We don't. Not for living, not for dying, not for anything. The pain of feeling and knowing that makes us kill ourselves. And if not you personally, your comrades, your fellow human beings, they are in pain, even if you don't feel like you are. They're suffering from the imbalance of sexes, among other things. But not to have an equal relationship with your sexual opponent is a big thing. Who can you fight? Someone else? Someone stronger than your wife? That's usually where it leads. Get a hold of yourself and fight your husband bravely in the sexual battle, and you'll keep him by your side. Nobody cares about the hurt feelings of a dog. You're dirt if you're not equal with your partner. Try to reason with yourself and come up with an instinctual resolution. You are strong. Believe in yourself. We're all equal in potential power. Believe that. Then you can build a woman's world. It's a woman's world for you, but a peaceful world for all of us. Louis and Ella singing Summertime, that's what I hope the future will be. That trumpet at the beginning is a new child being born, a pure child, and a child who will stay pure for as long as his mommy and daddy are around. The end.